નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Welcome students to sixth part of 11th chapter area and its boundary of standard 5th mathematics. In the last part we discussed some practices, but in this part we are going to discuss a puzzle. There is a puzzle on the page number 150 in your textbook, and to solve that, let's go for that. Before that, let me tell you, keep a sharpened pencil also with you. Keep open your textbook so that you can understand very well. So what is the puzzle? Is that pass through a postcard. Pass through a postcard. You might have seen that postcard. It is the size of this, and how to pass through that postcard? Can you imagine? Okay, let's go for that. Can you think of how to cut a postcard so that you can pass through it? See, you want to pass through the postcard. In the last part, we discussed that we can cut the strips of this postcard to make the belt long, like that we discussed. But in this, we are not going to cut this postcard in the strips. Though, how can you cut this postcard so that you can pass through it? If you can see in that photo also, there is a photo, a boy is there who is passing through the postcard. If you have tried hard enough and still not got it, look for the answer somewhere ahead. See, the answer for this is on the page number 154. I have seen that part, sir, and let's think how to pass through that postcard. For that, what you should do, let me make you understand. First of all, see, this is a postcard. First of all, you should draw such lines like this. Okay, draw such lines like this. First of all, you have to make this I. Then after, you have to go for this straight lines. Okay, go for these straight lines, and then mark these lines up to half. Okay, mark these lines. Now what to do? You have to cut this postcard. Now how to cut this? Let me make you understand. See, first of all, after drawing this, you can see this drawing on the page number 154 also. Let me cut first of all. Let me cut this postcard. For that, I have to cut this I shape. Can you see this I shape? I will cut this I shape first of all. So let me cut this I shape. First of all, make a small cut so that you can start the cutting. Okay, now start from here. See, I am cutting this I shape. Okay, and I would like to hurry so that we can complete this activity as early as possible. Okay, now cutting this side also. Why? Because I am cutting in I shape. Okay, this side. Can you see this? This side also. It is not that much easy, let me tell you. Okay, now here also, and this side up to this, and this side up to this. Okay, so I cut this postcard in I shape, you can see. Now what I will do, I have to cut this postcard this half of the line. Okay, so let me cut that. 1, 2, 3. See, if you want this a big bend, then you should keep these lines very nearby. Okay, now let me cut this from this side also. Okay, now can you see a big line over there? Now you can see a big box you will be able to find out. Okay, see, suppose you could do this much, है? Now if you want to go for some more, then what you should do? You should cut. If you want some more, then you should cut over here also, so that it will become a thin strip. See, here also. From the middle, see, I am cutting this. Okay. Now from the middle I have to cut this. For that, suppose it is there. Once again I am cutting these strips also from the middle. I have to cut this from the middle. So cut this from the middle once again. So that you will find some more big circle. Okay, cut this like this. Like that you can cut this. I am doing this very quickly. That is why it may not be that much perfect. But you can see now. This postcard is this much big. And if you want to cut this postcard some more big, then take this strip more thin. Go for this more thin strip, and so that you will find a big circle over there, and then it is possible to pass through the postcard. Okay, now some more questions are there on the page number 151. Open page on the page number 151. People everywhere. People everywhere. So let's discuss page number 151. You can play this game in a ground. See, first of all, complete full class has to play this game. Means all the students has to play this game. Now you can play this game in the ground. Make 2 squares of 1 square meter each. Make 2 squares of 1 square meter each. Now to make a square of 1 square meter, then the length and width of the square should be 1 meter. Okay. So make a squares of 2 squares of 1 square meter each. Divide your class into 2 teams. Now you have to divide your class into 2 teams. Ready to play. First of all, try this in your turns, in your teams. First of all, how many of you can sit in 1 square meter? See, 2 squares are there, 2 teams are there. You have to ask one team to sit. How many of you can sit in? So you have to ask the students to sit in 1 square meter box. So how many of you can sit in 1 square meter? Okay. Suppose, see, we will not be able to perform this activity by this time. So we have to guess. Suppose 3 of us can sit in 1 square meter. See, we cannot sit more than 3 in 1 square meter of box. So how many of you can sit in 1 meter square meter? Say 3. So you have to answer. 3 of us can sit in 1 square meter box. Then after, how many of you can stand? how many of you can stand in it? Then suppose 6. So you have to answer 6 of us can stand in it. Then after, which team could make more children stand in their square? How many? Suppose team B is there. Suppose team B is there. Then we should answer team B could make more children in their, could make stand more children in their square. They are 6 children. Team B has one child more than team A. Okay. So suppose team B could make to stand, which team could make more children? Suppose B could make A and B. A could make, suppose 5 children to stand, and B could make 6 children. Then we can say, which team could make more children stand in their square? Team B could make more children stand in their team. Those are 6 children, and 1 children more than compared to team A. Okay. Measure the which could make more children sit in their square. How many? Suppose instead of team A could make 3 children sit in their square, and B could make 4 children sit in their square. So once again B is there. So team B could make more children sit in their square. How many? 4 children. Okay. So this could be the answers. Now the next B is there. Puzzle B is also there. Measure the length of the floor of your classroom. We have to measure the length of the floor of your classroom. In meters, also measure the width. We have to measure length and width of your classroom. Now, let's answer these questions. What is the area of the floor of your classroom in square meters? So first of all, we have to go for, suppose the length of my classroom is 8 meter and the breadth is 5. So first of all, measure the length. By measuring that, suppose the length is equal to 8 meter and the breadth is equal to 5 meter, suppose. Now, what is the area of the floor of your classroom in square meters? We know how to find out the area. So we should write area of floor. I am not writing everything. Let me tell you. Area of floor is equal to length multiplied by breadth is equal to 8 multiplied by 5 is equal to 40 square centimeter. So area of the floor of the classroom is 40 square centimeter. How many children are there in your class? There are, you should answer, suppose 40 children are there, then you should answer, there are 40 children in my class. So 40. How many? 40 children are there in my class. Then, so how many children can sit in 1 square meter? Total 40 square meters are there. 40 children are there. Then one children can sit in 1 square meter. 40 square meters are there. And 40 children are there. That is why one children can sit. One can sit in 1 square meter. Isn't it? Now, if you want to move around easily, then how many children do you think should be there in 1 square meter? If you want to move around easily, then what do you think? How many children should be there in 1 square meter? We can say 1 meter more than enough. So here 1. What do you think should be there in 1 square? 1 children. 1 child should be there in 1 meter. Okay, one more question is there. Can you imagine how big a square of side 1 kilometer is? Now, first of all, can you imagine how long is 1 kilometer? Okay, then imagine 1 kilometer long and 1 kilometer wide square. That is 1 square kilometer. So, can you imagine how big a square of side 1 kilometer is? If you can imagine, then you should answer yes. I can imagine a big square of side 1 kilometer. That should be your answer. It has an area of blank square kilometer. Area of side square with side 1 kilometer. So 1 length, 1 breadth. So 1 multiplied by 1 is equal to 1 square kilometer. The answer will be 1 square kilometer. It has an area of 1 square kilometer. Guess how many people can live on that? See, 1 square kilometer. 1 people can live on 1 square meter. Now, 1000 meter, 1000 meter, 1000 meter is equal to 1 kilometer. That is, see, 1000. Now, within 1 meter, people can stay. So 1000 people can stay in 1 square kilometer. 1000 people can stay. Why? Because 1000 meter is equal to 1 kilometer. So we will be able to make box of 1 meter in 1 square kilometer. We will be able to make 1 square meter box in 1 square kilometer. 1 square meter boxes. And in each box 1 people. That is why 1000 people can live. 1000 people can live on 1 square kilometer box area. Okay. Now, one more thing is there on the page number 152. See, in West Bengal there are about 900 people living in 1 square kilometer. In West Bengal, about or around 900 people living in 1 square kilometer. Okay, in West Bengal. But in Arunachal Pradesh, it feels very lonely. It feels very lonely. Why? There are less than 15 people. Less than 15 people living in a square kilometer. Very big area, very less people. That is why people feels lonely. Okay, with this, we are ending this part and will meet in the next part. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourselves and we'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.